In today's rapidly shifting global landscape, nations are navigating a complex web of diplomatic and economic realignments, scrambling to secure their positions on the world stage as power dynamics evolve. One of the most seismic developments has been the rise of BRICS, a coalition of emerging economies that has taken the world by storm. Comprised of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, BRICS is not merely an economic alliance, but a challenge to the established order, pushing back against Western-dominated global institutions and demanding a seat at the table for developing nations. Now, in a stunning geopolitical maneuver, Thailand has entered the BRICS fold, marking a momentous shift in both its foreign policy and its economic strategy. Thailand's decision to join this powerful group of emerging economies isn't just a diplomatic alignment, it's a bold declaration of intent, positioning Thailand as a critical player in the evolving global power struggle. This decision reverberates across international trade, regional cooperation, and global governance, creating ripples that will be felt for decades to come. In this exploration, we will peel back the layers of this dramatic move, delving into Thailand's reasons for joining BRICS, the strategic importance of this partnership, and the broader implications it holds for the shifting global order. Thailand's entrance into BRICS represents more than just an opportunity for growth. It is a calculated, high-stakes maneuver that positions the country as a central force in reshaping global power. Let's dive into the deeper significance of Thailand's strategic partnership with BRICS and what it means for the future of geopolitics. Before we can fully appreciate the gravity of Thailand's decision to join BRICS, it's essential to understand the foundation upon which this coalition was built. The idea of BRICS was first coined in 2001 by economist Jim O'Neill, who identified Brazil, Russia, India, and China as emerging economies poised to reshape the global economic landscape. At that time, the grouping was little more than a theoretical concept. But as these nations grew economically, and as the West's dominance over global financial institutions became increasingly questioned, BRICS quickly gained traction. The BRICS nations, united by their shared economic ambitions and common desire to challenge the global status quo, began to push back against the power structures that had long been controlled by Western institutions like the International Monetary Fund, IMF, the World Bank, and the World Trade Organization, WTO. These institutions had long been seen as tools for Western powers, chiefly the United States and its European allies, to maintain their dominance in global trade and finance. In response, BRICS sought to create a more equitable global order, one that would give developing nations a greater voice in shaping global policies. In 2010, South Africa joined the coalition, transforming BRIC into BRICS. This addition of an African powerhouse not only solidified the group's global ambitions, but also ensured that Africa had a seat at the table in global economic and political discussions. By extending an invitation to Thailand, BRICS is now signaling its intention to expand even further, recognizing the strategic importance of Southeast Asia and the shifting power dynamics of this vital region. Thailand's decision to join BRICS is not a random move. It is part of a broader, high-stakes shift in the country's foreign policy. As the global balance of power pivots away from the West, nations like Thailand are rethinking their roles in a world that no longer follows a predictable trajectory. Thailand, long known for its strategic location in Southeast Asia, is positioning itself as a bridge between East and West, a role it has carefully cultivated over decades of diplomatic balancing. Thailand's economic transformation, from an agrarian society to a diversified industrial economy, has made it one of Southeast Asia's leading economies. Its strong manufacturing sectors, particularly in automotive production, electronics, and textiles, have earned it a spot as a critical player in regional and global supply chains. However, the country's importance is not merely economic. Thailand has long been a central force in Southeast Asia's political and economic integration. As a founding member of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, Thailand has been instrumental in promoting regional stability and fostering cooperation across Southeast Asia. But the global landscape is changing, and Thailand's traditional role as a neutral diplomatic player is increasingly being tested. As tensions between Western powers, particularly the US, and rising Eastern giants like China and India intensify, Thailand is looking for new ways to diversify its alliances, secure economic opportunities, and enhance its diplomatic leverage. By aligning with BRICS, Thailand positions itself as a key player not only in Southeast Asia, but also in the broader global economic and political system. BRICS is not just an economic powerhouse, it is also a political and diplomatic juggernaut, united in its mission to reform global governance. The collective influence of these nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, And now Thailand has the potential to fundamentally challenge the West's long-held dominance over global institutions. Joining BRICS offers Thailand access to an array of strategic advantages that will reshape its economic and geopolitical future. As tensions between the United States and China continue to rise, Thailand's membership in BRICS offers it a unique position of leverage. With its growing economic and political influence, Thailand can play a critical role in facilitating dialogue between the major powers of East and West, helping to smooth tensions that threaten to destabilize global trade, security, and climate cooperation. This diplomatic mediation is perhaps one of the most powerful advantages Thailand gains by joining BRICS. Its neutral diplomatic stance, combined with the strategic support of BRICS, makes it an ideal candidate to facilitate cooperation among the world's largest powers. Moreover, BRICS's goal of reforming outdated global institutions like the IMF, the World Bank, and the UN Security Council aligns perfectly with Thailand's long-term interests. The current global financial system, dominated by Western powers, has often left developing countries at a disadvantage. BRICS seeks to challenge this status quo, advocating for more inclusive decision-making processes and policies that reflect the needs and priorities of the Global South. Markets and investment opportunities that would otherwise be difficult to tap into are now within Thailand's reach. The BRICS nations collectively account for nearly a quarter of the world's GDP, and their influence over global trade and investment flows is immense. For Thailand, this partnership represents the opportunity to expand its exports, particularly in sectors where it has a competitive edge, such as automotive manufacturing, electronics, and textiles. The access to BRICS's new development bank, NDB, is another key advantage. The NDB has been set up to provide financial support for infrastructure development in emerging economies, a need that Thailand, with its rapidly growing economy, is keen to address. Whether it's improving road networks, expanding energy infrastructure, or enhancing digital connectivity, Thailand stands to benefit from significant investments through BRICS-backed initiatives. Thailand's role as an industrial and manufacturing hub positions it as a critical player in BRICS' supply chains, particularly as China, India, and Brazil, three of the world's largest emerging markets, continue to expand. The country's strong industrial base makes it a vital partner for BRICS nations looking to deepen trade and investment ties in the region. Looking ahead, Thailand's future within BRICS seems ripe with opportunity, but it also comes with immense responsibility. The global balance of power is shifting, and Thailand's position in the middle of this transformation is becoming increasingly significant. As the traditional power structures of the West wane, countries like China, India, and Brazil are asserting their influence in global institutions and markets, challenging the dominance of the United States and its allies. Thailand, by joining BRICS, is diversifying its global alliances and securing a powerful platform to influence global policies. Its role as a mediator between East and West makes it uniquely positioned to facilitate diplomatic dialogue, trade negotiations, and security talks. As tensions between major global powers continue to mount, Thailand's neutral diplomatic stance, combined with its growing economic and political influence, will ensure that it remains an indispensable player in global governance discussions. Moreover, as BRICS expands and deepens its influence, Thailand's participation will be crucial in shaping the future of global trade, investment, and governance. Thailand will play an active role in pushing for reforms that reflect the interests of the Global South, advocating for fairer trade practices, greater financial inclusion, and stronger climate action. By joining BRICS, Thailand is positioning itself not just as an economic player, but as a key architect in the creation of a more inclusive, multipolar world order. In conclusion, Thailand's partnership with BRICS marks the beginning of a new chapter in its foreign policy and economic development. As part of one of the world's most influential coalitions of emerging economies, Thailand is securing its place in the evolving global order that is less dominated by Western powers and more reflective of the rising influence of the Global South. Thailand's role within BRICS will continue to evolve, and its strategic position will ensure that it remains at the forefront of shaping the future of global trade, diplomacy, and governance.